Hello my dear students. So today we are going to discuss regarding urban and rural community. So in today's session, in today's presentation, I am going to cover two topics, that is characteristics of community and second one is difference between urban and rural community. Let's start the topic. Now what is characteristics of community? So what are the characteristics of community, right? The first one is a group of people, right? See, a community is what? Whether the group is small, whether the group is large, right? So community always refers to a group of people, right? So that is one of the characteristics of community. Second is a definite locality. So we have already discussed, like, community is what? Community is when a group of people, they are living together in a geographical area, whether they are living in a town, whether they live in a small city, or wherever they live, right? So when they live in a particular place, in a particular area, that comes under community, right? Another thing is similarity. See, when the people, they live in a particular place, they live in a particular area, so they are similar in many ways, right? They share their joys, they share their sorrows with each other, so they have same interest, they have same norms, they have same values, right? So they are similar in many ways, right? So that comes under characteristics of community, right? Another characteristics of community is sense of belongingness and sense of togetherness. See, when the people, they live in a particular area, when the people, group of people, they live in a particular place, right? They interact with each other. They discuss lot of things with each other. They share their sorrows, they share their joys with each other, right? So they develops a feeling of togetherness, we feeling. They develop a feeling of belongingness, right? They unite with each other. There is some unity you will find in that people who are living in that particular area, right? So we feeling is there in that people who are living in a particular area. This is the main characteristics of community. Last characteristics of community is self-sufficiency. See, when people, community always, we can say that always provide everything to their people who are living in a particular area. They provide every facility to you. They always take care of the person's need. They always take care of the people need who are living in a particular community, right? So these are the characteristics of community. So we can say that similarity, definite locality, a group of people, sense of belongingness, sense of togetherness, and self-sufficiency. These are the characteristics of community, right? Next one is, what is the difference between urban and rural community? See, many differences are there. Now we will start with size of community, right? So with regard to size of community, we can say that rural community is much smaller as compared to urban community, right? Why we can say like that? See, in rural community, few families are residing in the rural areas. For example, we can say that 1,000 families are residing in a particular area, in a particular rural community, right? So we can say that the size of the community in rural area is less as compared to urban community, right? Next is geographical boundaries. See, when the size of rural community is small, when the size is very small, so we can say that the rural community, they have distinct boundaries, right? So this comes under geographical boundaries. Now, next difference between urban and rural community is density of population. See, if the population is less, or there is, we can say that small and distinct boundaries are there in the rural areas, so we can say that rural community is less dense as compared to the urban community, right? Now comes to the occupation. Yes, see, in rural community, farming is their main occupation, right? They have enough land to raise their crops, right? So farming is the main occupation in the rural community. Whereas in urban community, the people who are living in the urban community, they have lot of opportunities. See, I can work in a factory also, I can work in MNC also, I can work in a small college also, I can work in a school also, I can work in a university also, right? So lot of opportunities are there for me if I am residing in the urban area, right? Now, next difference between urban and rural community is mobility. Mobility means, see, mobility means when you are moving from one place to other place, right? So, mobility is very high in urban community, right? Why? See, I can move. See, if I will get a good job, I can move from Delhi to Gurgaon to Bangalore to anywhere else. Where I will get the good opportunity, I will move from one place to other place, right? So that in this context, we can say that mobility is very high in urban area, right? Next is the difference between urban and rural community is homogeneity and heterogeneity. See, what is homogeneity and heterogeneity? See, rural population is homogeneous, whereas urban population is heterogeneous. Now, what do you mean by homogeneous? Homogeneous means there is some similarity in the population. There is some similarity in the people who are living in that particular area, in that particular community. Rural population, see, in rural population, families are less, size of the community is very less, so they interact with each other, they know each other, right? So when they know each other, so they have so many similarities. They share they have same interests, they share the same norms, they share the same values. So lot of similarities are there. People who are living in the rural community, right? Whereas the people who are living in the urban community, they are heterogeneous. They move from one place to other place, right? So they don't have the same interest. So they belongs to different religion, right? They are from different backgrounds. So that in this context, we can say that the urban community, or we can say that the urban population is heterogeneous, right? Okay. The most important, or you can say that the last difference between urban and rural community is the leadership pattern. See, in rural community, rural community population is small. We can say that suppose 500 people are, or we can say that 500 to 600 people are living in a particular geographical area, right? They have same interest, they have same norms, they follows the same religion, everything is same. So lot of similarities are there in between them, right? So when they interact each other, they knows each other, they know their capabilities, they know this is the person who is having the leadership quality and he or she is capable for this post, right? For example, some panchayati system is there, panchayats are there in the village, right? So there are elections in the panchayat, right? So we want somebody to be a part of the panchayat who is having a leadership qualities, right? So the person who has given her name, or you can say that who is nominated him or her for the panchayat elections, so might be that person is capable for that post. So we know that person, we are able to select that person. Why? Because we know this is the person, we know that person, and we know that this is the person who is capable for this post, right? So in rural community, we can say that we know each other and we can elect the person, or we can select the person as per our choice. Because why? Because we know this is the person who is capable for this thing, right? This person is having a leadership qualities, right? Whereas if we talk about the urban community, it's very difficult to assess the person. It's very difficult to select the person, to choose the person. Why? Because we don't have the knowledge regarding that particular person. We are not interacting with that person. Interaction part is very less in the urban community, right? So we don't know whether this person is capable for this post or not, whether the person is having a leadership qualities or not, right? So this is the major difference between urban and the rural community, right? So these are the differences between urban and rural community: size of the community, geographical boundaries, density of population, occupation, mobility, homogeneity and heterogeneity. Then last one is leadership pattern, right? So these are the differences. Thanks for watching today's session. So for more learning or community health, like, share and subscribe my channel. My dear students, if you want me to discuss some topic, like if you want me to discuss a particular topic in my session, so please you message me in my comment box. So I will definitely discuss this topic for you. Thank you very much.